Hello everyone, this is 3361 Highway 95 in Parson. I grew up in Parson and I was always envious of this property because it had all the cool features. It was so well kept, it had a lush green lawn and just beautiful flowers and fruit trees and a pond and all these great things, including, when I was a kid, this meant just total luxury when you had lamps at the end of your driveway. The location couldn't be better. It is less than 5 minutes walk from the Parson General Store. You can even just barely see the sign right there. So the store is right there. Like I say, it's got all these great fruit trees and flowers and everything. And it has not only one fantastic house on the property, but a second one. That's a rental that's right here on the same property. Again, look at this, these shrubs and the flowers in amongst the shrubs and everything like that. And these are the bulbs that come back every year without, any effort at all. They just bloom and glow. Had a covered entranceway, which was just so cool, and then it's got a garage. We only ever had a carport growing up, so this was wild. And then, inset stones like this, it just had so much neat luxury in that, and it still does. It's still so pretty. Check out this pond. And then if you ever want a house with the white picket fence, this is the one. White picket fence goes right back that way. There's a sitting area just here off the back, and then a separate entrance here. And then of course they had a garden, so that was the root cellar for the garden there. And they have lots of birds, floating all around the property because they're feeding with the bird feeders there. Look at that, there's a woodpecker right there on the feeder right now. Pretty cool. And then totally private, like look at this, just big green space all the way around. So I want to show you inside, but let's just step back and look at these big beautiful windows right out the front here. So like I say, we got this covered entranceway. Don't have to shovel your snow and things like that right off of your doorstep. And it steps into big, beautiful grand entranceway that has spiral steps, which is really, really cool. And then just off to the right side of the entrance is this beautiful sunroom with lots and lots of windows and, if you can believe it, a hot tub. So again, I keep going back to how envious I was of this property all the time I was growing up, because nobody had a hot tub in their house. So there's this, and then it had a wet bar, and again, the curving steps up to the glass French door at the back. Something I should mention is the folks that have lived here in this house for over 50 years are downsizing and moving to Vancouver Island. And that's important to say because they're not going to take really any of these items. There's a few keepsakes and things like that for memories of there, but furniture, electronics, everything is included with this home. So if you're a young family starting out or anything like that, what a great, boost this will be, to buy a fully furnished home, in such a great neighborhood too. So there's your wraparound kitchen with, wood cabinetry and everything, beautiful countertops. I guess I got ahead of myself not describing what you're looking at. This is the dining room, and then the living room in front of the gas fireplace. You can see, it's right there. And this is your entertainment center here. Hopefully I'm not spinning you around too much there. They got these great blinds, because it is south-facing, so it's got great, sun for the backyard. But the tree and that gives it good shade. And it's actually in the late afternoon here. It's not even so hot in the house right now. So, and that might be to do with bringing the blinds down a little bit, but it's really quite nice. So you can see that they've got updated appliances. These are all stainless steel. And then as you're working over the sink, check this out. Seeing the birds right there, in the backyard. What a great spot. So it's got a great layout because we came up the stairs and walked around through the kitchen and then the dining room and that, and now we're back into the bedroom area. So we'll step in. This is the first guest bedroom. It also has an office space here. See that? A nice big closet there. And this is your view of the backyard. Just beautiful, cozy, comfortable home, right? And this is the big bathroom. Actually, there's another, even more light there. Nice bright lights for the bathroom. Gold fixtures. Really sweet. Very well taken care of here. Everything. You know, the big soaker tub here and a shower. So a soaker tub and a shower. And it's got a big mirror there, but you know. And then a bay window here in the bathroom, looking into the backyard. But again, the location is so private, and that, you know, you got the blinds open even now. So, and they're open most of the time because the likelihood of somebody walking through the backyard isn't very good. So this is the big bedroom upstairs. Look at that cozy bed. And again, this is staying with the home. This cozy bed, these, you know, fantastic dressers and everything like that. They can be included with the purchase of this property. And there through the back windows into the green space beyond. So that's the 2 bedrooms up and the big bathroom. We'll step down a few steps here. I'll give you a peek out the backyard from here. To your sitting area. Nice and shaded, nice and cool back here. Oh, the car just went by. You can see that it's not very loud at all. And then there's, root cellar just over there. So we'll step down a few more stairs and be in the lower level where it is very cool in that. But the floor is not cool because it's a wood floor, not a concrete floor. So it's not one of those cold basements. It's just cool today, you know, just perfect. And the bathroom here, we do have a shower too, so in the lower level, so your guests don't have to come up stairs for showering. And the laundry's down here. Again, these great appliances are going to stay with the property as well as everything else. And then this is the downstairs bedroom. And it is a bedroom because I think that window's big enough to be an egress, which means you can walk out. And then this, let me show you this other bedroom first. This is really great. Look how big this one is. And, you know, there's a dresser and everything like that in there too. But this one's being used as a bedroom. But it's a nice space. Electric baseboard heaters down here. And the big reason it's electric baseboard heaters is this will blow you away. This is the workshop, but as we walk straight through it, I'm going to let you know that this house is powered by a generator, a hydroelectric generator in the creek nearby. So look at this system. So what, you know, they just run it in the summer, but you know, you just unplug these and plug those in. I'm going to make a video. I'm going to get the owner to make a video that explains how simple it is to switch the house right off of the BC Hydro grid onto the private electric utility. But isn't this a great system and something to talk about? You know, you'd have guests over or whatever. This is the first thing you're going to do is bring them down here and have them check out your private electrical system. You know, that's pretty awesome. So we'll step up. There's a lot more to show you. Show you a little friendly squirrel buddy. So lots of wildlife around here and the birds and the squirrels and stuff like that. Very cute. Step back down towards the entrance right here. Again, this is the covered entryway, which is a nice place to sit, you know, in the evenings here. And this over here is your single car garage, which contains a single car. So look, there's lots of space for open the doors wide on both sides. It's nice and tall. And there's extra room at the front for the freezer or whatever have you for storage. The house has been maintained and kept up really well. You know, they've updated to vinyl siding that's low maintenance on the outside there. And, you know, just little touches, little personal touches over the 50 years that they've lived here. Little sitting area here. There's another pond with a fountain over that way, and just lots and lots of bushes and shrubs that bloom at different times of the year. That's a storage shed for the garden tools, and that propane tanks are there. They do have grandkids, so they have some play equipment there. I wanted to show you the roof. It's a low pitch roof, but it does have the membrane underneath it there. So it will accumulate some, you know, because of the large mature trees all around, it'll accumulate the pine cones and things like that. But there is a membrane underneath that gravel. It's not a tar and gravel roof, it's a membrane and gravel roof. So that'll last you a lot longer. So back here, like I say, there's the woodshed. And there's there's so much to show you. I'll pass on the root cellar, but they don't have a big garden anymore, so you know they haven't been using the root cellar. But you can see these electrical lines. They go up to the hydroelectric dam, or a hydroelectric facility that's just up this trail. It's not a dam. It just feeds right out of the creek there. Oh, let's just pan on how many outbuildings and great outbuildings there are and how big they are. So this is his wood shop. This is his storage. There's another storage there. There's a double garage there with power doors there. And this is the rental house right here. So I hope I'm going quickly, not to bore you, but not so fast that make you feel like I'm skipping anything. So here we go into the wood shop with all his woodworking tools, which again, they're moving down to a small place on the island. So they want to include all these woodworking tools with the sale, and woodworking material in that as well. So look at all this, and such a great space and well built, you know, with the trusses. Those are fir trusses up there. And you can even look over the yard while you're working too. Isn't that great? One more pan of the house there. And yeah, you're going to have a building inspector check out that roof, and hopefully he's not going to say anything that's going to concern you. Beautiful day. Here's another storage building, also with the accents of all the beautiful flowers here. You know, these are going to bloom into, I believe, big peonies. So that's going to be nice. Another storage building. There's the lawnmowers and that. And the well-built, you know, truss for the roof there. That's nice to see. And this got steel siding on this garage. It's low maintenance and, you know, gonna last a long, long time. There's your snow blower, power washer. This is their son's car and that, but got a really unique and interesting backstory with that car as well. And all the parts are there. And then over this way is, here we go. This is the big garage, but look how that's a three-quarter or a half-ton pickup, and there's still this much space for a canoe and a trailer and chairs and everything like that beyond that. So really great shop there too. We're going to do a quick walkthrough of the tenant's property. Won't spend too much time because we don't want to disrupt them, but so this is a good spot. Got their private driveway. Look at the lilac bushes and all these fruit trees and bushes and everything like that out front. got a couple of nice dogs here, so we're gonna close the gate behind us. But yeah, she's got a space here, fence for the pups. And we step through. So the little house here does have a tenant. So we're gonna go through rather quickly, just showing you that there is a kitchen and there is a living room, you know, that has a nice view out the front door there, or the front window, I mean, looking at all the flowers and the bushes and that. And it's a really big, you know, room here. And then up the hall, you know, it's a good tenant because, you know, keeping it very tidy and nice. And then there's 2 bedrooms here, one on the right and one on the left. I'll show you just quickly downstairs. There's a lot of space down here for storage and things like that, and your washer dryer. I'm just going to scurry through really quickly anyway. So, but I did take photos for you, so no problem there. You'll be able to see in more detail the rest of the place. I'll give you a look around the front of the rental house, which is really quite nice. And again, with all these flowers and that. And I wanted to show you again, if you're concerned about road noise, that's it. You know, I'm talking quite low and it's not interfering with my speaking at all. Here's another angle of the big double garage there. Big double garage. Like you've seen how big it is in the back there. And then there's another shop up there, coverall storage. And this is 3.5 acres. I don't know if I mentioned that, but 3.5 acre property goes all the way up behind there, and it's just covered with mature timber. We'll walk up this little path to the garage, the storage building up here. And even this, you know, backwoods sort of area is well maintained. There's a bit of a cubby for storage right there. And this is the big coverall carport up here. You can drive in this way to get here. And they even ran some power for up here. So it's a good space, you know, store your boat or your camper and that in there. But this is a quick look around the property. Lots of trees, lots of green space, 3.5 acres. And just to pan, let me pan along these flowers. You know, these are, a lot of these haven't even bloomed yet. Like those are still in bud, but it's just going to explode with color very, very soon. So that's it. 3361 Highway 95, Parson BC. Very close to the store and a lot of activities, surrounded by activities, outdoor activities, biking and hiking and ATVing and everything. It's right nearby. Thanks for watching.